Medical Monday. I'm Jessica Hill, the Director of Nursing at Southeastern Community College, and I'm here at beautiful Lake Waccamaw today with Dr. Peter Chambers, Emergency and Family Medicine Doc, Surf Doc, and Waterman.
Wonderful, huh? We're at the lake. I love it. Anytime I'm around water. You know, my whole life has been around water.
Right.
From Southern California, I've taught swimming, I've been beach lifeguard. In the Air Force, I even taught open water rescue.
So this is your natural environment.
This is where I want to be.
So we're going to talk about water safety today.
That's right.
And that's why we're here.
Water safety is an issue. Let me tell you something. You may know this because you've heard my talks before.
Yeah.
What is the number1 leading cause of death with kids between 1 and 4?
I'm going to say drowning.
Drowning. You're right, but you kind of had a hint there.
Right.
It's drowning. The United States Public Health Service, CDC, forget, if you got an issue with the CDC and COVID, but the CDC issued a statement that drowning is a national public health concern and problem. It's in the top 10.
Well, it's preventable, right?
It's always
It's
preventable. You look at these drownings, very seldom it's preventable, that it's not preventable.
That's right.
And you see some incidents, and we'll talk about those, but we need to talk about this. Let me ask you the next question, since you got that one. Maybe I'll stump you with this one.
Okay.
What's the first thing people think of when we talk about water safety and drowning prevention?
Swimming, right?
Most people say we need swimming lessons, and you do need swimming lessons. Everybody needs swimming lessons. Everybody should know how to swim 200 yards. If it's, you're around me, everybody needs that. However, when we come up with water safety, the impulse is we got to learn to swim. Tragically, we've had drownings right out here in this body of water. We seem to have 2 a summer.
Right, so people who are great swimmers can still drown.
That's right. There's no correlation with that. It helps, but if you're a swimmer, it doesn't mean you won't drown.
Okay, so well then help us and our viewers understand then if swimming is not going to keep us
not
from
the priority.
drowning, if that's not our priority, what is our priority?
Water safety, water awareness.
Okay.
The national leading safety organizations, Safety Around Water, United States Life Saving Association, American Red Cross, National Heart Association, Boy Scouts, YMCA, they've all made standards about water safety and what increases water safety. And depending on what organization you look at, whether it's the United States or whether it's somewhere in Europe, everybody refers to a drowning chain or a drowning chain of survival. Basically, the same way to structure. These things need to be in place to minimize a possible water mishap, incident, drowning, or fatal drowning.
Gotcha. Okay. And so there are 2 types of drownings, right? And some people don't understand this.
Yep.
Drowning doesn't always have to be a fatality.
Correct. Remember, drowning is defined by the CDC and the experts that deal with drowning every day. It's a process. It's referred to as a drowning process. It's submersion in a liquid. We're not talking about hay in a farm tower, although that's a type of drowning. Submersion or immersion in a liquid that causes a hypoxic event. You're a nurse, what's hypoxia?
Low oxygen in your blood, right?
That's right, an impairment with the lungs. So it's a process. You can intercede in that process anywhere, prior to it being a fatality, early on, or preventing it altogether.
So if you can correct that low oxygen in your blood early enough,
right,
you might not die, right?
Right, and there we're talking about early rescue. We're talking about having things available to correct that hypoxia, but there's a step before that, and that's just the awareness of problems that can happen and what can we do to prevent that from happening.
So being prepared.
Being prepared. And on that note, before we go any further, I want to get out, we have a giveaway.
Yeah, we do.
Everybody likes free stuff.
Yes.
And you're going to tell them about it.
I am. Dr. Chambers has written some fabulous books really geared towards children. They are given away by him because this is his passion, and he really wants to educate our community and all communities about water safety. So, Dr. Chambers, you mentioned the drowning chain of survival. Let's talk about that. What's the first link?
First link, depending on which one you look at, but the concept in all of them is you have to have an awareness of the problems that could happen when you're on the water. We're in that first link today. We're giving you an idea of what is some potential issues related to drowning. Got to know your environment. Normal things. What's deep? What's not deep? What place is for swimming? What place is not for swimming? A lot of the drownings occur in places that are what we don't think is normal places of swimming.
Gotcha.
Drainage ditches,
Right.
culverts, ponds that aren't really for swimming. You know, it's not the backyard pool, although a lot happened there. And it's not necessarily the lake. Many drownings occur where you don't expect them to occur.
So know your environment, as simple as that.
Know your environment, know your aquatic environment. Okay?
There you go.
You know, I can't remember, 2/3 of the earth is water. You better know it.
So speaking about knowing your environment, you know, in our spring break episode, you mentioned something called a water watcher. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. I've never even thought of that. So let's talk about the water watcher.
If you're at an organized or unorganized water event, you know, you're gonna be at the beach, you're gonna be at somebody's pool. If you're having a picnic at the park, but there happens to be a pond for the geese, somebody has to be a water watcher. Meaning alcohol-free, preferably an adult, that's gonna keep track of the water and all the kids not going in the water.
That's their job for the
Entire time.
The entire time.
Yes.
You are the water watcher.
Kind of like a faux lifeguard around the water wherever they are.
So for people planning their days at the lake and at the beach coming up this summer, you need a plan before you leave home.
Yeah,
like,
and
who's going to be your water
exactly.
watcher?
And talk about it at home the day before your event. Okay, we're going. Let's talk about sunscreen. Let's talk about hydration. Who's going to be our water watcher? And just because you are the designated water watcher doesn't mean you're off the hook. Oh, you're always a water watcher. If I go to the beach, you know, I sit by the lifeguard, you know, I can't go to the beach and relax. I'm constantly, you know, looking and walking down to the water, and I'll even, and most lifeguards I know, I go, have you seen those kids down there? They look kind of dangerous to me. They're gonna go in the water in their Levi's. Did you notice that? You know, everybody's a water watcher all the time. You go on vacation, you're at that hotel, keep looking in the water. You know, it's too easy to not. And that's who finds people that are in trouble. Typically not, you know, the professional rescuer that's there.
So if you see something, say something.
See something, say something, and in a future episode, we're gonna show you some things, what you can do. Even if you're a non-swimmer, we're gonna put you in the water and let you be a victim, and I'm gonna have you be a rescuer with me being in the water.
Awesome.
There's certain rescue techniques everybody need to know.
Okay.
So we talked about that. Awareness of the area, first link. Okay, let's talk about swimming for a second.
Okay, let's do.
Because everybody always wants to know. Everybody should learn how to swim.
Sure.
It increases the survivability in the water. I used to do water safety training as a flight surgeon in the Air Force. Air Force figured out the best way to deal with water survival or water safety with an aircraft that's down in the water is teach the people in the plane, the crew, how to swim.
Sure,
They
right?
had thousands and millions of dollars in the Pentagon looking at life jackets and buttons and egress. Teach them how to swim.
So if you can stay with your head above water,
And be able to,
then you have a chance, right?
you have a
got
chance. You have a longer chance. I mean, you can't stay in the water for a week.
forever. Sure.
Right,
got
but
a
you
long
have
chance.
a chance.
And buy yourself some time.
That's right.
And time is very, very important when it comes to drowning
That's
and water
right.
safety,
Because we talked about this hypoxic event
Sure.
that occurs. You don't want that to occur. And if you can swim 200 yards and keep your head above water, if you have to save one of your kids, you're going to have a much better chance. And how often do we hear it happened here in this water here? Child is in danger. Father does natural instinct, dives into the water. We lost the father, saved the kid. Both were, you know, preventable. Tragedy. Both were preventable. So who's our water watcher? Know the environment, know what's deep, know what's shallow, know what rescue equipment's available, know where the lifeguards are. If it's an organized public place where there's lifeguards, know where they are. You know what always drives me crazy? People go to the beach and they come walking through the dunes and they go to the beach and they see the lifeguard and then they go walk the furthest part of the beach because it's quiet away from the lifeguard.
Yeah, where there aren't as many people.
No,
right?
whole idea is you go to the beach, sit right next to the lifeguard.
Where there are the most people.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Somebody to notice.
Yeah.
So talking about noticing, knowing your environment, let's talk about bathing suit color really quick.
Good,
Because
my favorite.
that's something really simple that you can do if you're gonna be around the water and you're taking your children somewhere. Pick out a good color bathing suit, not a blue,
Right.
not a pastel.
And they've done studies with this. Put your kid in neon yellow, neon green, red, a bright color. Don't put them in well, here, brown.
Brown, yep.
Put 'em in
Yellow,
That's right.
yellow would
North-
probably not show up well
North
here.
Myrtle Beach lifeguards are in orange, just so we can see them on the beach.
Yes, neon colors you can see underneath the water.
Hats. Have a hat on your kid for the reason of the sun, but also you can pick them out.
And so not just bathing suits, this just crossed my mind. What about life jacket color?
Always pick a neon. And now you see them, you know, they got
Black
and emo and you know all this stuff. Is it emo? Nemo. Finding Nemo colors, and they're blue because they're water. You know, go down the line. Red, orange. You know, just pick the ones that are not fashion statements.
Right.
That's what you want. It makes a difference.
Definitely.
And the Coast Guards, they're orange. The Coast Guard, they put
Right.
everybody in an orange one.
Sure. Well, you can see that in the ocean,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Should be able to.
So there's 3 things we already talked about: water watcher, knowing to swim, life jackets. Right then.
Yes.
We've covered part of the chain, and we're going to do more of the chain in the next episode.
Yes, we are going to have a whole nother episode, and we're going to talk about some of the equipment. We're going to see some of the equipment in action, and who knows, this may expand to a 3rd episode. There's so much to talk about.
Very easily.
And
very
it's
easily.
such a needed topic that people need to be educated on, whether you live around the water or not.
That's right. Here in Columbus County, it's even more important to have the education and the awareness because we have limited places. Southern
Yes.
California, everybody's got a pool in their backyard. Everybody goes to the beach on the weekend. In Hawaii, the kids are more comfortable in the water in Hawaii than they are in their classrooms. So, but you know what? They have these presentations in Hawaii as well.
Right.
You get off the airplane in Hawaii, there's a display. Water awareness, water safety, because it's all the tourists are coming.
Sure, yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here with us today. We're going to do another episode next month.
Yep.
I'm really excited to get in the water and see some of this
Yep. So
equipment.
next month, everybody will be in bathing suit,
Yeah.
ready to go.
It'll be warmed up. Hopefully we'll have some sunshine.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. We have talked about water safety, part 1, because we're coming back for part 2 next month. Thanks to Dr. Peter Chambers for being here with us. Thanks for the books that he is offering to give away. And if you want one of those books, contact the number on the screen and we will figure out how to get you one of those. Again, thanks for joining us. We are so excited to come back next month and expand on this topic to help you and your family stay safe this summer. Stay well.